Hello, I'm Mantastic'c and Fantastic, and today I want to take a look at the monster exchangeable cards available in the Star Wars Collab. So, first off, we have Darth Maul, and Darth Maul is a villain with a cool lightsaber. Like, I don't know, when I first saw this lightsaber, I was like, mind blown a little, just because it's like not one, but two blades. I thought it was pretty cool. And at last he will have his revenge, but sadly, he's kind of an awkward card. In this form here, he can get like a skill boost plus Super Awakening or Cloud or Tape, but the problem is 3 enhanced red combos and 3 enhanced dark combos just have nowhere to be used at this point in time. Like, there's nowhere I can think of that will actually, no team that's going to benefit from these combos, so this is definitely a bit of a letdown in that aspect, because when you think about it, 3 of those awakenings are essentially just going to go to waste every single time, and that's not really what we want to have. Maybe in the future, if we somehow get a Fire Dark Leader, maybe Darth Maul may be justifiable, maybe, but even so, like, his active skill is only a bit of orb generation, I guess in a huge personal buff, so he quad caps, but right now, I don't think he has much use in this form, but his lightsaber looks cool and is animated, but it is the only weapon assist at this exact moment that has both an attacker and a machine killer awakening. But if you go into Pad DB, which is an app I highly recommend you download, you can actually see various updated cards in JP. So we know that in the future, Ina's weapon assist is actually getting buffed to, well, it's getting buffed to this form here, which actually will have the same killers. But Darth Maul has a skill boost in his weapon assist, which makes it unique in that aspect there. Furthermore, the active skill itself gives you a Jammer Skyfall buff, which technically does overwrite Poison and Jammer Skyfall debuffs if you encounter them, so this might be helpful in that aspect, because certain dungeons, maybe you get your things disabled and then the Skyfalls happen, maybe. But it's the second part of the active skill I feel that's going to be more meaningful, where you get the attack buff for that personal card, and Void damage Void for 2 turns. So this weapon assist makes me think it's going to be utilized for farming setups, because hey, the owning card does even more damage against those respective spawns. 9 times damage, so they're both an attacker and machine. The skill boost makes you charge up easier, and Void damage Void tends to be one of the most popular aspects for farming builds, because swiping like big blobs is really just so easy and mindless, or like Shikigami swiping, like many teams want to swipe, but it's not VDP swiping, so being able to Void damage Void can be utilized for it, but at the same time, I think it's kind of an expensive monster exchange, and if you don't feel like you're going to be actually utilizing it for those aspects, it's quite pricey at 5 dark event medals. Like, these are pricey. That's 25 rainbow event medals. So like for myself, I have 4 of these. I probably will trade for it on one of my accounts, but only on one account. I wouldn't trade for it on my alt account, mostly because I have excessive amounts on this one. For BB-8, I don't really foresee them actually having any true usage overall. Like, it's a weapon assist with 2 team HPs and an active skill that, it's not a thumbs up, it's really a thumbs down, unfortunately. Like, it's not going to have much use, but I guess if you do farm these Star Wars rainbow medals, you have enough, you like it, sure, but I think in terms of need to have, not so great. And then lastly is Anakin, which is really becoming Darth Vader at some point, and I rolled my Anakin, so I didn't have to trade for him, but I probably would have traded for him, partially because I think Darth Vader is the coolest villain of all time, and also because Darth Vader is actually a strong card. Like, let's just take a look at my Darth Vader, who's just happily chilling on my team here. He has huge stats. He has double 10 combo, 6 enhanced dark combo awakenings, so everyone else is dealing even more damage with multiple dark combos, and that can make a big difference overall. He will double damage cap on his main attribute. His sub attribute does a respectable amount of damage. Not gonna quad cap really that easily, but like, it's still a couple billion, a billion or 2, so it's not bad. But the big issue is that we can rule the galaxy as father and son, which means you have Void damage Void for a single turn. And if you're playing teams like, say, Blackbird, who in this current setup here, I don't have very much VDP damage at all. So using Darth Vader is ensuring that everyone is dealing their full amount of damage on a 6-turn cooldown, but it also unlocks the board and makes a row of dark. And that row of dark can be used to always guarantee Blackbird activation, which is great. It also can be used to obviously pierce through those voids. It's another way to actually have another orb changer available. So I think it's definitely a strong trade if you have any mono dark teams. Like every mono dark team, I'd say, to a certain extent, can benefit from Darth Vader on their team, especially if you don't have heavy VDP damage or other void damage void options. And then if all that doesn't even apply to you, his weapon assist is a VDP weapon with no true downsides. Like there's no negative stats or anything like that. And obviously it's most beneficial for dark based teams, but again, if you needed a VDP somewhere and you don't want to have negative penalties, this is technically a way you could add it. But I honestly feel like it's not necessarily worthwhile for the weapon assist for 5 7-star Godfest exclusives. But for his dark form, it's definitely strong. God has a double damage cap and a killer latent because he gets 8 latent slots. So he does have a step up in damage potentially as well. So that being said, let me know what you think about the monster exchangeable cards in the Star Wars collab in the comments down below. Did you exchange for any of them? And if you did so, are you happy with your decisions? Regardless of all that, hopefully you all have a truly fantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.